The great chamber of the Galactic Council was huge, so huge that Jin could not see the far walls through the thick air. Thousands of different alien beings sat in floating seats that moved around the giant room like slow-moving stars. Each seat held a different kind of life from across the galaxy. Jin sat in his human chair near the middle section. His black suit looked very plain next to all the colorful aliens around him. He held a small tablet in his hands and waited. He had been coming to these meetings for 3 years now. Most of the time they talked about trade rules or space traffic. Laws, pretty boring stuff, but today felt different. The air buzzed with strange energy. Many aliens were making sounds Jin had never heard before. Some clicked, some hummed, and others made noises like breaking glass. Their excitement filled the massive room. At the front of the chamber, a huge screen showed the face of Hive Queen Zephyra. She looked like a giant bug with too many eyes. Her voice came through the speakers like the sound of metal scraping against stone. "Representatives of the Galactic Council," she said, "we gather today for a very important vote." Next to her image, another screen showed the resonance. It looked like a living crystal that changed colors as it spoke. When it talked, the sound was like wind chimes in a storm. "The matter before us today," the resonance said, "is the human problem." Jin looked up from his tablet. Finally, something interesting. He had been drawing small circles on his screen while waiting for the meeting to start. Now he opened a new file and got ready to take notes around the chamber. Thousands of aliens turned to look at Jin. Some had eyes like cats. Others had no eyes at all but pointed strange organs in his direction. A few aliens near him moved their seats farther away. Jin waved at them with a small smile. One alien that looked like a walking tree fell over. "The humans have become too dangerous," Hive Queen Zephyra continued. "In only 50 years, they have spread to many star systems. They build ships faster than any race we have seen. They learn our technology and make it better. But that is not the worst part," the resonance added. Its crystal body flashed red. "The worst part is that they show no fear. When we warn them to slow down, they say, 'Thank you for the advice,' and keep doing what they want." Many aliens in the chamber made sounds of agreement. Jin heard clicking, whistling, and what sounded like someone stepping on bubble wrap. "Last year," Hive Queen Zephyra said, "we sent our best war fleet to show humans our power. We brought 100 ships to their colony world. Do you know what the humans did?" The chamber went very quiet. Jin stopped typing and looked up with interest. "They invited our fleet commander to dinner," the resonance said. "They gave him a tour of their factories. They asked if we wanted to buy some of their new mining equipment." Jin smiled. He remembered that day. Commander Park had been very happy to make new friends. The alien fleet commander had really liked a Korean barbecue. "This is not normal behavior." Hive Queen Zephyra's voice got louder. "When a superior force shows power, the correct response is fear. Humans do not understand fear. This makes them very dangerous." More aliens made agreement sounds. Some bangings and crashings joined the clicking and whistling. "They do not respect the natural order," the resonance said. "Small, new races should be scared of old, powerful races. But humans treat everyone the same. They act like they belong here." Jin tilted his head. He thought humans did belong here. Space was big enough for everyone. "We have studied human history," Hive Queen Zephyra continued. "They fight wars against each other all the time. But when they fight, they never give up. Even when they are losing badly, they keep fighting. They make plans to win wars that should be impossible to win. And when they are not fighting wars," the resonance added, "they prepare for bigger wars. They always think the next enemy will be stronger than the last one. This is not normal thinking." Jin nodded. That sounded about right. His grandfather had always said, "Hope for peace but plan for war." "So today," Hive Queen Zephyra announced, "we vote to solve the human problem before it gets worse." The chamber filled with noise as thousands of aliens talked at once. Jin could not understand most of it, but he could tell they were excited. "The vote is simple," the resonance said. All in favor of declaring war against humanity, make your species sound. The noise was incredible. Jin had to cover his ears. It sounded like a construction site, a zoo, and a music concert all happening at the same time. The vote went on for 5 minutes. When it finally got quiet, Hive Queen Zephyra spoke again. The vote is complete. The Galactic Council declares total war against humanity. All human colonies will be destroyed. All human ships will be captured or destroyed. All humans will surrender or be eliminated. Jin blinked and looked around the chamber. Thousands of aliens were looking at him. Many looked excited, some looked scared. A few looked like they felt sorry for him. Human representative, the resonance, sighed. You have 30 galactic standard days to surrender all human worlds. If you do not surrender, we will bring every warship in the galaxy to destroy you. Do you understand? Jin looked down at his tablet. He typed, Galactic Council declares war. 30 days to surrender. Total elimination threatened. Then he looked back up at the huge screens. I understand, Jin said calmly. I will pass along the message. The chamber went completely silent. No clicking, no humming, no bubble wrap sounds. Nothing? That is all? Hive Queen Zephyra asked. You have no other response? Jin thought about it. Should I have a different response? Your species has just been sentenced to death, the resonance said, its crystal body flashing confused colors. Most species beg for mercy. Or offer tribute. Or at least ask for more time, Jin shrugged. I am just a messenger. The important people back home will decide what to do. But thank you for letting me know. He stood up and put his tablet in his jacket pocket. Have a nice day, everyone. As Jin walked toward the exit, thousands of alien eyes followed him. The chamber stayed completely quiet until the doors closed behind him. Then the real noise started. 25 days had passed since the war declaration. The Galactic Council was getting very worried. Their spy ships around human space sent the same reports every day. Humans were doing absolutely nothing about the coming war. No human military. Ships had moved to defend their colonies. No emergency meetings were being held. No desperate messages were being sent to ask for help from other species. The humans just kept doing their normal, everyday things. Commander Tor of the Crystal Fleet was reviewing reports in his ship near Earth's solar system. His crystal body flashed confused colors as he read each message. Mining Station Titan 7 increased production by 4% this week, he read aloud to his crew. New Sol Colony started building a new shopping center. Mars Colony is planning a music festival for next month. Sir, said his assistant, a smaller crystal being, maybe humans do not understand what war means? Impossible, Tor replied. Our intelligence shows they fight wars all the time on their home planet. They know what war is. Captain Zex was having the same problem with his bug ships. He had been watching human communications for weeks and found nothing useful. They talk about everything except the war, he told Hive Queen Zephyra during their daily report. Yesterday I listened to a 3-hour meeting about how to grow better vegetables on Mars. 3 hours. About vegetables. Back at the council station, the alien leaders were becoming angry and confused. Perhaps they think we are not serious, suggested the resonance. We should show them our full military power. Yes, agreed Hive Queen Zephyra. Bring all fleets to human space. Every ship from every member species. They will see our strength and surrender. The order went out across the galaxy. Thousands of warships began moving toward human space. The crystal ships of the resonance moved like deadly flying diamonds. The bioships of the hive looked like giant insects swimming through space. Ships from 50 other species joined them, metal ships, energy ships, living ships, and ships made from compressed gas. It was the largest fleet in galactic history. Over 10,000 warships carrying enough firepower to destroy entire star systems. On the frontier world of New Bizon, Farmer Wu was working in his fields when he saw strange lights in the sky. He stopped his tractor and pulled out his binoculars to look. Huh, he said to himself, those look like alien ships. A lot of alien ships? Wu walked back to his farmhouse and called the local government office. Hello, this is Wu from Farm District 7, he said when someone answered the phone. I need to file a wildlife report. There are about 200 unknown spacecraft in the area. They might be migrating through. Thank you, Mr. Wu, said the voice on the phone. We will add it to the weekly report. On the orbital traffic platform? Above New Bizin, Controller Yoon was having a busy day. More and more alien ships kept arriving in the system. She had to keep updating the navigation warnings for civilian ships. Attention all civilian traffic, she announced over the radio. Large formation of non-human vessels in sectors 7 through 12. Please use alternate routes to avoid collision. Speed limit is still 50,000 kilometers per hour in populated areas. The alien fleet commanders could not believe what they were hearing. They are treating us like a traffic problem, Captain Zex complained to his crew. We are the most powerful military force in galactic history, and they think we are a navigation hazard. Sir, said one of his officers, should we attack now? Show them we are serious? No, Zex replied. The plan is to wait until the deadline. Let them see our full strength first. More ships kept arriving. The space around human colonies became crowded with alien warships. Human traffic controllers worked overtime to keep civilian ships safe from the massive military fleet on Earth. The news programs talked about the alien fleet for about 5 minutes each day, usually after the weather report and before sports scores. In other news, said news reporter Kim, the alien armada near our outer colonies has grown to approximately 8,000 ships. Traffic officials remind citizens that shipping delays may occur in affected areas. And now, here is due with the baseball scores. The aliens monitoring these broadcasts were going crazy. 8,000 ships. Commander Tor shouted at his crystal crew, "We bring 8,000 warships to their doorstep, and they mention it. Like it is a minor traffic jam." "Sir," his assistant said carefully, "perhaps humans are braver than we thought." "Or more stupid," Tor replied. 3 days before the deadline, something very strange happened. The aliens intercepted a routine supply request from a human deep space station. The message was from Lieutenant Tay, a young communications officer on Deep Space Station Delta 9. He was talking to his friend back on Earth about normal things. The food, the weather, how his work was going. "The void spawn incursion in Sector 7 got pretty bad last week," Tay said casually. "We lost about 12,000 ships and 500,000 people before we contained it. But Command says that is actually pretty good. Last time we only contained them after losing twice that many." The alien listening post that caught this message went completely silent. "Did he just say 12,000 ships?" whispered the monitoring officer, a lizard-like being from the scale-face species, "and 500,000 dead?" added his partner, who looked like a walking flower. They listened to more of the conversation. "Yeah, the dark between entities are getting stronger," Tay continued. "Good thing Admiral Ben finished the Andromeda campaign last month. We need those fleets back here for the real war." The aliens looked at each other with growing fear. "Real war?" the flower being asked. "What do they mean, real war?" Jin's ship landed at the government spaceport on Earth 3 days later. The trip back had been quiet and peaceful. He had spent most of the time reading a book about gardening and eating instant noodles. The alien ships that followed him home kept a safe distance, probably watching to see what humans would do. The spaceport looked the same as always. Workers in blue uniforms loaded and unloaded cargo ships. Families waited for passengers to arrive. A small coffee shop near the landing. Pad had a sign that said, "Welcome back, Jin." The owner, an old man named Park, waved at him through the window. Jin waved back and walked to the government building. It was Tuesday morning, which meant President Hai would be having her weekly meeting with the important people. Perfect timing. The building was not very big or fancy. It looked like a normal office building with glass windows and a small garden in front. 2 guards at the front door nodded at Jin as he walked in. One of them was reading a newspaper. The headline said, "Local, Cat wins photo contest." Jin took the elevator to the top floor. The doors opened to show a busy office full of people working at desks. Phones were ringing. Computer screens showed graphs and charts. Someone was making coffee in the corner. "Morning, Jin," said Secretary Lee, looking up from her computer. "How was the space trip? Did you try the new alien restaurants?" "The food was okay," Jin said. "Is the president ready for her meeting?" "Yes, go right in. She is waiting." Jin walked into the meeting room. President Hai sat at a round table with several other people. She was a small woman with short gray hair and glasses. She looked up from a stack of papers and smiled. "Jin, welcome back. How was the Galactic Council?" "Interesting," Jin said, sitting down in an empty chair. "They declared war on humanity. We have 30 days to surrender or they will destroy all human colonies." President Hai nodded and made a note on her paper. "Okay, does this affect the quarterly trade reports?" "We are supposed to send them out next week." Defense Minister Kai, a large man with a thick mustache, looked up from his tablet. "War declaration, you said? Should we cancel the diplomatic dinner next month? We were going to serve that new fish from Europa." "Probably a good idea," said Chief of Staff Na. She was young and always looked worried about something. "We should also update the threat level from orange to red. The forms are on my desk." Jin pulled out his tablet and showed them the recording from the council meeting. The three leaders watched Hive Queen Zephyra and the residents explain why humans needed to be destroyed. "They seem very upset," President Hai said when the video ended. "Did we do something wrong?" "They think we are too dangerous because we do not show fear," Jin explained. Defense Minister Kai laughed. "That is funny." "Fear of what? They have never seen anything really scary." Chief of Staff Na was already typing on her computer. "I will send a message to all colony governors. They should know about this, just in case." "Good idea," President Hai said. "Also, Jin, please send a polite reply to the council. Tell them we received their message and we will think about it." "What should I actually tell them we decided?" Jin asked. President Hai thought for a moment. "Tell them we are busy right now, but we will get back to them soon." Meanwhile, across human space, life continued as normal on Mars Colony Engineer. Jun was working on the big machines that made air for people to breathe. His assistant, a young woman named Cho, brought him a message about the war declaration. "The aliens want to fight us," she said, handing him a printed paper. Jun read it while eating his lunch sandwich. "Okay, did you remember to order new filters for the atmospheric processors?" "Yes, they will arrive on Thursday." "Good, the filters are more important than alien politics." On the mining station Titan 7, Supervisor Mi was checking the daily reports when she got the same message. The station was deep in space, far from Earth, pulling valuable metals from asteroids. Mi called her workers together for the daily meeting. "Two things today," she announced. "First, production is up 3% this month. Good job, everyone. Second, some aliens declared war on us." The workers looked at each other. One raised his hand. "Does this mean we get overtime pay?" "I will ask the main office," Mi said. "For now, keep working as normal." In the outer rim of human space, Captain Lee was flying his merchant ship Soul's Pride between the colonies. His cargo hold was full of computer parts and medical supplies. When he got the war message, he was eating dinner in the ship's small kitchen. Lee's co-pilot, a cheerful man named Yong, read the message out loud. "The Galactic Council says they are going to destroy all human ships." "Did they give a specific date?" Lee asked, not looking up from his soup. 30 days from now." "Good. That gives us time to finish this delivery run." "The medicine is needed on New Sol by Friday." Far away, in space near the council station, alien scout ships watched and listened to human communications. They had special equipment that could hear radio signals and computer messages. The scout ship commanders were very confused. "Are you sure we are listening to the right species?" asked Captain Zex of the bug-like hive fleet. "Yes, these are definitely human communications," replied Commander Tor of the crystal ships. "But where are their war meetings? Where are their emergency broadcasts?" The aliens had expected to hear panic. They thought humans would call emergency meetings, move their military ships, and send desperate messages asking for mercy. Instead, they heard normal Boring conversations. A traffic control officer on Earth's moon was telling ships where to park. A teacher on Europa was planning lessons for next week. A farmer on New Bizen was complaining about the weather affecting his crops. Maybe they are using secret codes, suggested Captain Zex. The aliens spent hours trying to decode human messages. They used their best computers and smartest scientists. They found nothing unusual. Humans really were just living their normal lives. This is impossible, Commander Tor said. We just threatened to destroy their entire species. How can they be so calm? On Earth, Jin finished writing his reply message to the Galactic Council. It was short and polite. Dear Galactic Council, thank you for your message about declaring war. We have received it and will consider your request. We are currently busy with other matters, but we will respond when we have time. Have a nice day. Best. Regards, Ambassador Jin, United Earth Government. He sent the message and went home to water his plants. It had been a long day, and his tomatoes needed attention. On the final day of the deadline, the massive alien fleet arrived at Earth's solar system. 10,000 warships from dozens of species filled the space around the small blue planet. It was the most powerful military force ever assembled in Galactic history. The fleet commanders expected to find chaos, human ships fleeing in panic, desperate transmissions begging for mercy, maybe even the complete evacuation of Earth itself. Instead, they found Controller So was an elderly human woman who worked at the orbital traffic control station above Earth. She had short gray hair, thick glasses, and a voice that sounded like a kind grandmother. When the massive alien armada appeared on her screens, she did what she always did with new arrivals. Attention unknown fleet, So announced over the radio. Welcome to Earth space. Please proceed to parking zone 7 for large formations. Speed limit in this area is 25,000 kilometers per hour. Please remember to properly dispose of any waste materials before departure. Have a nice day. Commander Tor was so shocked that his crystal body stopped flashing entirely. Did she just tell Isis where to park? I think so, Captain Zex replied. Should we tell her we are here to destroy humanity? Attention alien fleet, So's voice came over the radio again. I am reading some unusual energy signatures from your ships. Are those weapon systems? Please power down all offensive capabilities. While in Earth space, this is a civilian area. Thank you for your cooperation. The alien fleet commanders looked at each other through their communication links. Nobody knew what to do. Maybe we should just attack? Suggested Captain Vex of the Energy Being Fleet. Without warning? Asked Commander Tor. We already gave them 30 days warning, Captain Zex pointed out. But the old lady seemed so nice, said Captain Vex, before they could decide. Another human voice came over the radio. This is Earth Defense Command, said a calm male voice. I am Admiral Bin. I understand you folks want to talk to our military leadership. Please hold while I review the situation. The aliens had finally reached a human military commander. This was what they had been waiting for. Admiral Bin, Commander. Tor transmitted, we are here to accept your surrender. 30 days ago, the Galactic Council declared total war against humanity. You have until today to surrender unconditionally, or we will destroy all human colonies. There was a pause. Then, Admiral Bin spoke again. I apologize, but I was reading reports from the Andromeda Front. We just finished fighting entities that consume space-time itself. What was this about a galactic war? We, Commander Tor said slowly, the combined fleets of the Galactic Council, have come to destroy humanity because you are too dangerous? Another pause. I see, Admiral Bin said. Well, I am currently very busy managing our defense against cosmic horrors that could end all existence. But I suppose I can assign a patrol group to handle this local disturbance. Please wait. A patrol group? Captain Zex sputtered. We have 10,000 ships. Yes, I can see your fleet on my screens, Admiral Bin replied. It is quite impressive for local galactic standards. Our patrol group will be with you shortly. The aliens waited. And waited. They expected to see a massive human fleet appear, thousands of ships to match their own numbers. Instead, 12 ships appeared, 12 small ships that looked nothing like the simple human vessels the aliens had seen before. These ships seemed to bend light around them. Reality looked a little blurry near their hulls. They moved in perfect formation, like they were dancing through space. "This is Commander Park of Human Defense Patrol Group 7, announced a new voice. "I understand you folks want to fight us. Is this about trade disputes? Or did we accidentally? Park, in your space? We are here to destroy humanity?" Captain Zex transmitted. "We have 10,000 warships." "Wow, 10,000, Commander Park replied. "That is cute. Do you want to surrender now, or should we do this the fun way?" "The fun way?" Commander Tor asked. "The fun way, Commander Park." Confirmed. What happened next lasted exactly 17 minutes and 36 seconds. The 12 human ships moved like they were playing a game. They dodged between alien vessels that were 100 times their size. Their weapons cut through alien shields like scissors cutting paper. Every shot they fired hit exactly where they aimed, but the strangest part was not how well they fought. The strangest part was how they talked while fighting. "Oh, nice try with that plasma cannon," Commander Park said as his ship spun around a Hive battleship's attack. "But you might want to adjust the frequency modulation. Here, let me show you." His return fire did not destroy the alien ship. It simply turned off its weapons and engines, leaving it floating harmlessly in space. "Your formation is pretty good," said another human pilot as she disabled 3 crystal ships at once. "But you are thinking two-dimensionally. Space has 3 dimensions, remember?" The human ships moved up and down and sideways in ways that the alien commanders had never seen before. They fought like they had been born in space after 17 minutes. Half of the alien fleet was disabled. Not destroyed, just turned off like someone had flipped a switch. The crews were safe, but their ships would not work anymore. "Okay, time out," Commander Park announced. "I think you folks have learned enough for today. Would you like to surrender now?" Commander Tor's crystal body was flashing every color at once. How are you so strong?" "Strong?" Commander Park sounded confused. "These are just our patrol ships. We use them for training new pilots. If you want to see strong, you should meet the fleets that fight the dark between. Those guys are scary," Captain Zex managed to speak. We surrender." "Great," Commander Park said cheerfully. "No hard feelings, right? Controller, so we'll help you with parking and repairs. Earth has great restaurants if you want to try some local food while you are here." The battle was over. The greatest fleet in Galactic history had been defeated by 12 small ships that their pilots considered training vehicles. "Admiral," Bin's voice came back over the radio. "Thank you, Commander Park. Very efficient work. Now, alien representatives, shall we discuss peace terms? I have a meeting about cosmic horror defense in an hour, so we should make this quick." 3 days after the battle, Ambassador Jin sat in the same council chamber where the war had been declared. But this time, everything was different. The thousands of alien representatives were very quiet. Many seats were empty because their species were too embarrassed to attend. Hive Queen Zephyra and the Resonance still sat at the front, but they looked much smaller now. The Hive Queen's many eyes kept looking down at the floor. The Resonance's crystal body was a dull gray color. "We would like to apologize," Hive Queen Zephyra said quietly. "We did not understand the situation." "We thought you were dangerous to us," the Resonance added. "We did not know you were protecting us," Jin nodded. He had spent the last 3 days explaining things to various alien leaders. Most of them had trouble believing the truth about the dark between war. "It is okay," Jin said. "Misunderstandings happen. The important thing is that we understand each other now." President Hai appeared on a large screen behind Jin. She was speaking from Earth, where she was hosting several alien ambassadors for dinner. "The human government has a proposal," she announced. "We would like to offer the Galactic Council a choice." The chamber became even quieter. Everyone was listening. "Choice 1, President Hai continued. You can go back to your old ways. Keep fighting small wars over trade routes and territory. Ignore the real threats that exist beyond your galaxy. Eventually, the dark between entities will grow strong enough to attack this galaxy too. When that happens, they will destroy everyone, human and alien alike. Some aliens made worried sounds. Others just stared at their hands or feet or tentacles. Choice 2, President Hai said. You can join us in the real war. Help us fight the entities that want to consume all life in the universe. We will teach you what we know. We will share our technology. Together we can protect not just our galaxy, but all galaxies. She paused to let that sink in. The choice is yours, but choose quickly. Our scouts report that a Class 13 entity is moving toward the local group of galaxies. We estimate it will arrive in 18 months. A small alien near Jin raised a tentacle. What is a Class 13 entity? President Hai looked at some papers on her desk. Class 30s consume space itself. If one reaches our galaxy, it will eat the physical dimensions that matter and energy exist in. Everything will simply stop being real. The chamber filled with the sound of many different species gulping nervously. Hive Queen Zephyra was the first to speak. What would we need to do to help? First, stop fighting each other, President Hai replied. We need every ship and every soldier focused on the real enemy. Second, we will need to build new factories to make reality anchor weapons. Those are the only things that work against Class 13s. We will help, the Resonance said immediately. Our crystal technology might be useful for reality anchors. Excellent, President Hai smiled. Admiral Bin will send training officers to begin preparing your fleets for void space combat. Over the next few hours, species after species volunteered to join the war effort. The same aliens who had wanted to destroy humanity were now begging to help save the universe. On the agricultural world of New Bizan, a very different scene was taking place. Young human soldier, the was standing in front of a group of alien volunteers. They had come from dozens of different species to learn how to fight the dark between. Fighting void spawn is different from normal combat, they explained to her mixed class of bugs, crystals, energy beings, and others. Your normal weapons will not work. Your normal tactics will not work. Sometimes your normal reality will not work. She pointed to a chart showing a twisted black shape. This is a Class 3 void spawn. It is relatively harmless. It can only eat small objects like asteroids or space stations. But if you look at it wrong, it might notice you. If it notices you, it might decide you look tasty. A crystal being raised a shimmering arm. How do we look at it right? Very carefully, they replied. And with your reality shields at full power. Always remember, these things exist partially outside our universe. They do not follow our rules of physics or logic. An energy being that looked like a small star flickered nervously. This is very scary. Yes, it is, they agreed. But that is okay. Being scared means you understand how dangerous this is. Humans was scared too when we first encountered them. But you kept fighting anyway, said a bug-like alien. Of course, they smiled. Someone has to protect everyone else. That is what people do. We protect each other. She looked around at all the different alien faces watching her. You are people too, she said. Different shapes, different colors, different ways of thinking, but you are all people. And now we are all going to protect each other together. The alien students looked at each other with something new in their eyes. Not fear of each other, but hope for working together. Back on Earth, Jin was in his garden watering his tomatoes. The plants were growing well, big red fruits that would be ready to pick soon. He had always found gardening peaceful after stressful days. His tablet beeped with a message. It was from the Galactic Council. Ambassador Jin, it read. Thank you for your patience during our misunderstanding. We are honored to join humanity in protecting the universe. Also, several council members have asked if they could visit Earth to try Korean barbecue. We heard it is very good. Jin smiled and typed back, You are always welcome. I know a great restaurant. He looked up at the stars, which were just becoming visible in the evening sky. Somewhere out there, human and alien ships were working together, preparing for the next wave of cosmic horrors. But here in his garden, Growing tomatoes and making new friends, life was good. The galaxy had learned that humans did not barely react to their declaration of war because they were fearless. They barely reacted because they were already fighting a war to save everyone, including their enemies. And now everyone was fighting together. The alien monitoring posts across the galaxy started working overtime. Every conversation, every message, every data transmission from human space was recorded and analyzed. What they found made them very, very scared. Humans had been fighting something else for 50 years, something they called the Dark Between. Commander Tor called an emergency meeting with all alien fleet leaders. They gathered in virtual space, their different forms appearing as holograms around a digital table. "Show them what we found," Tor told his intelligence officer. The crystal being activated a large display screen. Data began flowing across it. Human military reports, supply requests, casualty lists, and strategic communications that the aliens had intercepted. "This is a standard monthly report from Human Deep Space Command," the intelligence officer explained. "It shows current active conflicts." The screen filled with numbers that made the alien commanders feel sick. Human forces currently engaged with Dark Between entities, 2.4 million ships. Current battle zones, 847 systems across 3 galactic arms. Estimated enemy strength, unknown but growing. "That cannot be right," said Captain Zex. "Humans only have a few hundred colonies. How can they have millions of ships?" The intelligence officer changed the display. "This is their military structure chart." A complex diagram appeared showing the human military organization. It was enormous. The part of human space that the aliens knew about, the colonies and trade routes, was labeled as civilian sector and peacekeeping operations. The real human military was fighting far away in the dark space between galaxies. "Here is a personal message we intercepted yesterday," the intelligence officer continued. "It is from a human soldier to his family." A young human face appeared on the screen. He was wearing a military uniform and looked very tired. "Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad," the soldier said. "Sorry, I have not called in a while. We have been fighting the void spawn near the Magellanic Clouds. The things are getting bigger. Some of them are the size of small moons now, but do not worry about me. My squad only lost 3 people this month, which is really good." He smiled and waved. "Oh, and tell little sister that her care package arrived safely. The cookies were great. Everyone in my unit loved them. We ate them right before we had to blow up that entity that was trying to eat a star. Anyway, love you all. See you when I get leave next year," the message ended. The alien commanders sat in shocked silence. "They are fighting things that eat stars," whispered Captain Zex. "And they think losing only 3 people in a month is good news." The intelligence officer brought up more data. "We also found this training video for new human recruits." The screen showed a human instructor standing in front of a class of young soldiers. "Today we will learn about Class 7 Dark Between entities," the instructor said calmly. "These are the small ones, only about the size of a city. They exist partially outside normal spacetime, so regular weapons do not work well against them." He pointed to a chart showing a black, twisted shape that hurt to look at. "Remember, if you see reality starting to bend around one of these entities, immediately activate your mind shields. The last thing you want is to accidentally think it into our dimension before the reality anchors are in place." One of the student soldiers raised her hand. "Instructor Park, what do we do if we encounter a Class 12 entity?" "Run," Instructor Park said simply. "Run very fast and call for Admobin's special fleet. Class 12s can delete entire solar systems from existence. Only the special ships can fight those." The alien commanders looked at each other with growing terror. What kind of enemies need special weapons to prevent them from deleting solar systems? Asked Commander Tor. The intelligence officer was not finished. "We found something else. This is a supply request from last week." A boring-looking form appeared on the screen. It looked like the kind of paperwork that someone fills out to order office supplies. "Request for rearmament, Human Fleet Group Omega," the intelligence officer read. "Items needed: 50,000 reality anchor missiles, 30,000 dimensional stabilizer bombs, 200 star killer torpedoes for emergency use only, 1,000 time lock mines and ... 5 universe cracker warheads, just in case. Universe cracker warheads? Captain Zex's voice was very small. The requisition form notes that the universe crackers are only to be used if they encounter a Class 15 dark between entity, the intelligence officer continued. It says here that Class 15s can consume entire galactic clusters if not stopped quickly. Commander Tor's crystal body was flashing rapid, panicked colors. How long have humans been fighting these things? The intelligence officer checked his data. According to their records, first contact with dark between entities occurred 53 years ago. The war has been escalating ever since. And what we thought was their military expansion ... double quotes Captain Zex began, was actually them setting up supply bases and refugee centers, the intelligence officer confirmed. What we called aggressive colonization was them evacuating populated areas that were about to be attacked by cosmic horrors. A new message appeared on the screen. It was marked Low Priority, Routine Update. This just came in from Admiral Ben, the intelligence officer said. She is currently commanding the defense of the Andromeda Galaxy against a Class 14 entity that is trying to use the galaxy's central black hole as a breeding ground. The message was short, Andromeda situation contained. Entity successfully banished to null space. Casualties light, only lost 400,000 ships, returning to Milky Way next month. P.S. Tell the Galactic Council we got their war declaration. Very cute, we'll handle after we finish saving reality. The alien commanders sat in complete silence for a long time. Finally, Commander Tor spoke. We declared war on the people who are saving the universe. Yes, said Captain Zex quietly. And they think we are cute,